up, everybody? This is Action Jax, your fearless navigator through the infinite depths of entertainment and pop culture. Today we're going to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home. Yesterday we had the trailer drop, and we've had some interesting reactions so far. There's a lot of people who are excited for it, and there are a lot of people who are a little concerned about the trailer itself. But I really want to talk today about a rumor that just came out here about Spider-Man No Way Home's secondary character, Doctor Strange. Something that's really interesting here is that Doctor Strange is acting a little weird in this trailer. I would say that he's not acting like himself. And this is one of the big concerns I had for the trailer. And I'm not necessarily going over the trailer itself, but I want to talk about a rumor that was brought up by Mikey Sutton from Geekosity. This is something to take with a grain of salt, but Mikey has a good track record, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this and go into it. So let's take a look. Okay, so one of the first things we notice in the trailer itself is that Doctor Strange is going to allow Peter Parker to kind of have his personality, his persona, his name erased from the Marvel Universe. And he goes in and basically creates a spell, and Peter Parker goes in, starts kind of mucking things up, and apparently the spell goes wrong, and we bring in all these other characters from the previous possible Spider-Man universe. Now, we haven't seen Andrew Garfield, and we have not seen Tobey Maguire yet in this trailer, but we do get our little pumpkin bomb situation here from the Green Goblin, and of course we've got Alfred Molina coming back as Dr. Octopus here at the end. But what really makes this how would you say, rumor interesting is that it has to do a lot with a rumor that has been persisting through the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the television shows now for months. And that is the character of Mephisto. I am tired of this. I am tired of the Mephisto stuff. I don't know how many videos I've seen in the last few months. So let's get right into this rumor here. So on Geekosity, we have Mikey Sutton, who is the editor-in-chief, going through and explaining why he believes that Doctor Strange is actually Mephisto in this. And I could understand why you would come to this conclusion, and I think he brings up some really interesting points. I don't necessarily agree with the idea that this is what they should be doing, but at the same time, it is a pretty valid argument here, and we're just going to go ahead and read through it here, and I'm going to give you some of my thoughts. That's probably not Doctor Strange in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. It's not likely a variant or a multiverse Doctor Strange either. Who is it? Don't groan, it's Mephisto. I am groaning. I'm so done with the Mephisto rumors. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I was completely annoyed by the end of the last rumor cycle when it came to WandaVision and all of the Mephisto stuff and how the showrunners didn't even know who Mephisto was. That was just terrible. So in December 2020, Mikey says that he leaked that Mephisto would appear in Spider-Man No Way Home. Furthermore, that report can be found in the link below, so take a look there. Back then, I also wrote that Spider-Man No Way Home is essentially an adaptation of One More Day. Now, I have not read this comic, but my understanding of this comic is that it is one of the most hated Spider-Man stories ever. Okay? So I can't really give you a lot of insight into that, but I think that it is interesting here that they would adapt such a, let's say, divisive comic book series. For those unfamiliar with it, writer J. Michael Straczynski's One More Day story arc found Peter Parker sealing a pact with Mephisto to save Aunt May's life. In the process, Peter Parker and Mary Jane were never married. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige often tweaks comic book tales for his MCU films and TV programs. Parts are tweaked and mixed with other stories to create something new. And in my opinion, sometimes it works. Much more recently, it has not. The Mephisto angle was essentially part of my Spider-Man No Way Home scoop back in December 2020. I wrote back then that Mephisto would lead into Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. However, WandaVision kept hinting at Mephisto with no payoff, what I was talking about earlier. In fact, the Disney Plus show concluded with its Agatha all along. Great. But what happened to all those Mephisto clues? Well, Marvel Studios doesn't randomly tease anything out without a purpose. I revealed at the time that Spider-Man No Way Home was the second part of a trilogy. WandaVision was the opener. The Doctor Strange sequel is the conclusion. Doctor Strange's behavior in the trailer is completely off. And this is actually something that I mentioned in my Twitter last night after watching the trailer for the first time. I was like, this is ridiculous. How is it that Doctor Strange could be doing something so incredibly stupid after all the events from Infinity War and the actions that he takes in his, the way he acts when it comes to all of his decision making? He is obsessed about making sure that everything works the way that it does. And for him to just nonchalantly be like, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and just do a really, really dangerous spell that might just break everything, okay? My first reaction to that was, this is stupid, you know? This is Spider-Man, how did I say it? Spider-Man, no way they're this stupid, right? Dr. Dumbass and Spider-Moron here, okay? Now, if this rumor is actually true, I guess it would kind of take back what I have to say, but I don't necessarily agree with the decision to go this route, because ultimately it creates this weird paradigm in the MCU and in the shows going forward that any of these characters can just be swapped out at any point in time, and that the overall changes that they've made is going to lead to a lot of chaos here in the MCU. So I'm a little confused by the decision that Kevin Feige would go with this, not only to choose such a divisive story to go from, but to also then make such a huge change to the character if they weren't going to go with this Mephisto route. He has issues casting a spell because Parker keeps interrupting him by Tom Holland. That's not Doctor Strange, and I could not agree more. Suspiciously, his Sanctum Sanctorum is filled with ice and snow. Isn't that strange? I did find that kind of strange. He was just wearing a parka, or a big puffy winter jacket, just wandering around. But Mikey brings up a really good point here. In Dante's poem Inferno, the first part of his Divine Comedy, the ninth circle of hell has a frozen lake. The devil is in the details, and this one lives in the frost. But will Mephisto be called Mephisto? After all, Marvel Studios needs this movie to be released in China. So if we know anything about the disease of unspecified origin, it has to be that they need to be able to release this movie in China. And they can't just go around throwing the devil, and in this case Mephisto is the devil of the MCU universe. Things would not go so well for them. So we'll have to see what they end up deciding to do here. Now he continues on here. After all, Marvel Studios needs this movie to be released in China. A satanic villain would prevent that. Most likely Mephisto would have his name changed. So what's the point? Are we going to continue to pander to China? They don't even want Shang-Chi, the entire movie that was specifically made to pander to China. And they aren't even releasing it there. Their own people don't even find the guy good looking enough for their own standards to lead a serious blockbuster film. This is ridiculous. So, rumors once circulated that Nightmare was the main villain in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. It's possible that Marvel Studios mashed Mephisto and Nightmare into a single character. Now, that rumor has been going around for a while that they were going to turn Mephisto and Nightmare into the same character, and I understand why. The characters themselves could be, you could take different parts of them together and make it work. I understand that, but I just don't understand what the point is. Why would you need to do that? If you're trying to build a cinematic universe here, and you're trying to keep an audience going for many, many years, why are you just cutting off these other characters that other people find interesting. Now, I've heard that Nightmare is not, you know, people's most favorite character, but he's insanely powerful. And to mix that with Mephisto, again, I get it, but could you not do something with him in the future with that character? Why bring it together now? And I don't know what the point of this is, honestly. So anyways, Mikey has a good scoop here, and I just wanted to kind of give my perspective on this. I think the trailer itself is pretty weak. I didn't find it that exciting. You know, you probably had already seen the leak the day before on, you know, some random person's cell phone that was uploaded 100 times. So if they decide to go down the Mephisto route, okay, I could understand why they would do that. They've been setting up these clues in these shows. But remember that the WandaVision show writer specifically said they didn't even know who Mephisto was. So they're just adding stuff either in there to just what, mislead people? Or that they're playing some kind of 4D chess situation and this was Kevin Feige's plan all along. They better be careful here, because if it is not Mephisto and these rumors start going around and people are like Mephisto, 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 and it doesn't end up happening, people are going to be pissed, all right? We've already had the rumors that we are going to get Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, right, as Spider-Man coming back into this whole thing. You don't see them anywhere in the trailer, so they must be hiding that as well. If they let those rumors fester just like the whole Mephisto thing, and they don't show up, there's going to be hell to pay. The fans are going to be pissed. They are going to start to revolt. And it is up to Sony and Marvel to make this story work, because Spider-Man, in my opinion, is going to be the thing that saves this phase 4 MCU era, all right? You know, we got Eternals, which looks boring, okay? We've got Shang-Chi, which in my opinion looks super generic, and I know that there's a lot of praise going around. It's a triumph, okay? Everywhere. It's a triumph here. It's a triumph there. Guys, stop reading off the scripts that Marvel give you when it comes to promoting this stuff. Please. There's people like me, and there's a lot of other people who can see right through the BS, all right? So, overall, I don't know. I'm not really sold on this, and I also personally didn't find the last Spider-Man movie to be that exciting. To be honest, I didn't even go see it in the theater. I waited until it came out. And I also did not even see Black Widow, a movie that when it was announced, I was like, oh, we're going to get an actual Black Widow movie? It's a little late, guys, but I'm in. And then after everything that happened, it was a dumpster fire from everything that I've heard. I mean, if you're actually going about and looking at people who you respect, who actually do, let's say, 4-hour-long breakdowns explaining why the story doesn't work, the characters don't work, there's lack of motivation, bad jokes, it's pretty clear that Marvel is in deep trouble and they need Spider-Man No Way Home to succeed. So, overall, I'd love to hear what you guys think about this rumor. Is there any merit to it? Do you think that it's actually going to pan out? And do you think you're also going to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and we've also got Jamie Foxx rumored to be in there? Do you think you're still going to see these guys? So yeah, I'm Action Jax, your fearless navigator to the infinite depths of entertainment and pop culture.